Hi, I'm drinking some Earl Grey here. I'm usually not a big tea drinker, I'm more of a coffee person myself, but there's something about the way Jean-Luc Picard says Earl Grey hot that just makes you want a cup. Maybe you want a cup now. Maybe you don't. This is water. Anyways, so this is a new show I'm going to be doing. I'm Nylah, by the way. And this show is called News of the World This Week with Nylah. And News of the World This Week with Nylah. And anyways, I thought, it's not actually a news show. I don't Let's get any misconceptions out of the way before we get started. So it's not really a news show, and it's not it might be news sometimes, but it's not necessarily from this week or this day. I'll I'm shooting it today. I'm sure I'll post it today. Um but and it's not even necessarily news. It's just kind of it's what I'm thinking about this week. Let's get going. This week, I'm thinking at the moment, I've been thinking about the color red. It's a pretty good color. There's an album cover I like that has a lot of the color red. You know the one. And red used to be one of my favorite colors. I don't really have favorite colors anymore. God, that was a conversation I had the other day. It used to be a pretty important thing. Anytime my favorite color would change, I'd announce it to my parents. I had the same couple of favorite colors for many years, and that was something I was proud of. I don't know why, but it felt mature as an 8-year-old to have the same couple of favorite colors for many years. But I don't really think I have one anymore. So, you know, red, the color red, which is not my favorite color. Um, a funny story about the color red, which I experienced. So I was doing this thing called Instacart. Instacart, for those of you that don't know, back at home, it's kind of like Uber Eats or something, but it's just specifically groceries. And so people give you a little digital grocery list, and then you go to Kroger or Publix or Aldi or whatever, and you pick up your groceries and you deliver them. And it's a pretty nice service. You mostly get like rich people who can't be bothered and old people who probably shouldn't be going outside right now because there's a pandemic going on. I'm aging this. Anyways, the color red. So I got this Instacart order for this store called Big Lots, which is kind of like a weird Walmart. And I go to Big Lots and I click start shopping. I'm here at Big Lots to get this woman's order. And there's 3 items in the order. There's 3 items in the order. One of them is a blanket. One of them is some candy, and one of them is a pair of slippers, house shoes, you might call them. I don't know why people call. I mean, I guess it makes sense. House shoes, slipper. We're just going to call them slippers for the sake of the story. And all of these are items that you might get in different colors. They're candy, there's shoes, there's a blanket. You can get them in different colors. They're different color options. And this woman, you can put little notes if you have like specific things on your shopping list. And she put a note on all of them saying not to get one in the color red. And then she also messaged me when I arrived at the store and said, please do not get anything in the color red. Any other color is fine. Gray is fine. Purple is fine. Orange is fine. Black is fine. Green is fine. But just please don't get me anything in the color of red because I am deathly afraid of the color red. I'm sorry to be weird and bug you about it, but I have nightmares about the color red. The color red terrifies me. And I'm like, okay, you know, I want to get my tip, so I'm not going to be weird about it or anything. And it's not that weird, and it's not really my business. So, I'm like, okay, sure, I won't get you anything in the color red. That's fine. But as I'm shopping and I'm finding these items, I start to get increasingly more nervous. Because for those of you back home that might not know, I drive a red car, and I didn't really know what was going to happen when I pulled up. And so, I do that, and I'm driving there, and I'm trying to think if I should warn her or not, because it's a leave at the door order. Like, I'm not supposed to make contact with her. I just leave it at the door. Um, And so I'm like, should I shoot her a message and be like, don't be alarmed, but just don't come outside till I leave. I didn't, and I pull up and I deliver the order and I run back to my car and I pull out of her driveway real quick, and I see her coming out of her door, and she looks at me. She gives a little wave. I can see her mouthing the words, "Thank you." Um, and she takes her stuff and goes back inside. And if I'm being honest, I was a little disappointed. Like, was it not that serious of a fear? Was she messing with me? Perhaps, maybe I got duped, or maybe it's just not that serious of a fear, or maybe cars don't apply. Because like, how are you gonna avoid red cars? Maybe it's just like she doesn't like red in her house, and it's scary if it gets in her house. Maybe I really wish I had talked to her more. All right, let's go over to the number of the week. So I was looking through my stuff trying to find what what the number of the week might be. I was looking through this bookshelf, looking through all my stuff, and I wandered over to this tiny house that's sitting on top of the bookshelf next to this little Altoids box of my dog Mabel's teeth. There's just one tooth, we only found one. And on top of this tiny house, as you can see, is this baby that my friend Lily gave me. And now I've only got one of these babies, but I happen to know the location, or not the specific location, but the ownership of 4 of them. And so I think that's it. The number of the week is 4. So keep a lookout. Hi, and welcome to Nyla's Media Corner. Today we're going to be sitting in this corner between my front door, and we got a baby gate here that we used to use for keeping our dog Mabel off the stairs. We've got her leash here. Hopefully touching that doesn't attract her. She's a little bit of a scamp. But yeah, we're sitting here in this corner. This is the media corner for this week. Oh, here she comes, little guest visit. We're not going outside right now. Don't fight it, please. Be respectful. You can take it with you. We're not going to use it right now, okay? Because we're filming right now. We used it earlier, and you've been out a lot, and also I took you for a stroll earlier, so you probably don't need to go for another one at the moment. And it's kind of dark and late at night, so it's not the safest for little guys like you. I guess I'll just keep going with her here. Anyways, we're going to be talking about the film by Michael Fassbender. Not Michael Fassbender, we're talking about the film. Michael Fassbender is a great actor. He was in Frank, and he played Magneto, and we should definitely talk about him on another day, but that just wasn't the plan for today. I'm talking about a film by Werner Fassbender, or maybe it's Werner Rainier, but it doesn't really matter because we're talking about his film and not him. But he is a pretty cool guy too. He's German, and he would cameo in all of his films, which is pretty neat. And pretty much all his films are bangers, so you should check all of them out. But today we're talking about his film Ali Fear Eats the Soul, which it's a sad movie. You all right? We watched it, her and I and Tika, we watched it a few mornings ago together. It's a good movie to watch in the morning because then it gets to sit with you. I, in general, think that watching movies in the morning is kind of better in general because then it sits with you for the whole day. You watch it and then you gotta sit with it. Unless it's a really bad movie or depressing movie, I always try to watch Lars von Trier films before I go to bed so that, I might have some bad nightmares, but like hopefully I'll forget about it by morning. Anyways, this movie, Ali Fear Eats the Soul, it's like I said, it's a really sad movie, but it's also a really beautiful movie. And one thing that really stands out to me that movie does very well is use its cinematography to paint these beautiful but isolating pictures, and it shows just how, lovely the relationship, which is the main story of the film, is, and how beautiful it is, and how much they love each other, but also how isolating it is due to the discrimination that is plaguing them and making their relationship sad, essentially. You should really watch it yourself because I don't want to spoil it, and I'm not too great at talking about stuff without spoiling it. But if you watch it and you'd like to talk about it, I'd like to talk about it with you. So maybe we can set up a Zoom or something, But that's my recommendation in terms of films for the week. Ali Fears the Soul by Something Fassbender. And also check out Frank and the X-Men movies, which feature Michael Fassbender. This segment is called A Cool Thing I Saw. I drive past this almost every day. It's in the parking lot by the Kroger that I usually shop at. And I always point it out to people when they visit me and we pass by it. Because this Papa John's sign, it looks like it got hit by a car, but I mean, it's all the way up there, so it couldn't have gotten hit by a car. And I think it's funny, and I would just really like to know what the story is there. So if you know what the story is, or if you better yet have an idea of what the story might be, write us, send us a letter and let us know how the Papa John's sign here on Madison Street of Tennessee got hit by a car. Was it a flying car? Was it Marty McFly? Thank you. We're back here in the corner, and we've got Mabel here still. She loves it here. This is kind of her corner. As we've got her leash here. We got the thing that we used to stop her from going up the stairs before she got too long to be stopped. And just before we go, I thought we'd listen to the song that I've been listening to a lot this week. And it's a song by Bob Dylan, and it's called Desolation Row. I've been listening to a lot of his songs, but that's really a standout one for him. My mom really doesn't like Bob Dylan. I don't think it's his voice, but I don't think she loves his voice. I think it's more the harmonica. She doesn't like the harmonica sounds, which is fair. She's not a big Bob Dylan supporter. Anyways, if I was to use one word to describe this song, it would probably be weaving. He's weaving all these characters and these story elements together. I think we'll give it a listen. Pop on my headphones here. Hopefully there's not a commercial. I've got it pulled up here on YouTube. Fire escape burns useless anomalies. Countries, states, governors cross governments. President laws absolve these. Whisper, tell yell, boss. Aliens, earthlings, green grass. Frogs, swamp, melts chocolate. Bulldogs, high school trumpets, brass. Fox fast, run. Don't be late. That's what Cheese said.